Okay, so this is where we left. We took one example and see how while works, right? So next we will move on. Okay, so um, we'll see some example today. Okay, in while loop and for loop. Okay, we'll begin with for loop first. So let's say I want to generate um, first n numbers, right? So I'll say for I in range, I can use range itself 1 comma 10. See, when I say 1 comma 10, it means I want value from 1 to 10, right? So I'll say print, I. And if I want to print in same line, what do we do? We discussed about end command? No?
No.
Now, I want to see if I run this, okay? If I run this, this is going to print values in one single line, right?
Yeah.
Print will always print in new line. Okay. Print always prints in new line. Okay. Every time you run it, it's going to print in new line. Okay. So,
Yes.
so the question is, if it prints in new line, okay, if I want to get in same 90% of the time, probably you'll print in new line itself. Okay. That's why you're writing print. But no, if you want to print in same line, okay, you want all 1 to 10 to be printed in same line. What do we do? So we have a command called end. And end, if you put at the end, okay, now see, all print has an invisible new line.
Mm.
If we discuss that slash n is for new line, correct? So we know
Yeah.
if we have to print answer in different line, we have to use slash n, okay, which is we know. But when we talk about the printing in same line, okay, it's printing in same line because it has new line, okay, or slash n in the beginning, at the end, sorry, at the end. So we need to remove that slash n. Okay, so there is a slash n at the end. That's why it's printing a new line. But we have to remove it, right? So something which we don't see, how can we remove it? Can we remove something that we don't see? Correct?
No. Yeah.
Right. That's the question, right? So we have to first make it visible.
Okay.
We have to first make it visible. Now, how do we make it visible? Okay, we make it visible, okay, using a keyword called end. Okay, so
Okay.
when we you know talk about um, removing this new line from the end, okay, we have to first make it visible, and we have this end equal to, which makes it visible. Okay, so now by default, what is there is end equal to slash n is there by default. Okay, so when you run it, okay, you get different line. So this is the way to make that new line visible. At the end of print, there is an end command. End equal to slash n, that is given. Okay, automatically it is given. Now, if I don't want it, I have to first make it visible. So this is now visible. And from this, I need to remove it. Gone. Instead, if you want to give space or comma or whatever, you give whatever you want and you run it now.
Okay.
Okay, so now you see your entire information got in one line.
Okay. So slash n is for the straight lines,
Yes.
for the rows. Yeah, got it.
Okay, same line. Okay, in the same line. So if I give comma space got printed. You put colon, whatever you give, that will be printed at the end. Space, colon, space. So you will have 1 space colon space 2 space colon space 3, right? So this is how you can print multiple values. Okay. Now I want to find sum of 5 numbers, sum of 10 numbers, sum of 20 numbers, right? So to
Yes.
find sum of 20 numbers, I need, okay, I need to get 20 numbers, but at the same time, okay, I need to make sure that those 20 numbers are read. And okay, so what I'm trying to say is, let's say I put 20 numbers, let me put 5 numbers, A, B, C, D, E, okay, and I give values like 50, 60, 50, 60, 70, right? I can
Yeah.
simply say sum equal to, or let's say use total equal to A plus B plus C plus D plus E. Now, in this case, what is happening is I have 5 different variables for 5 different values. So I can add them together. But
Yeah.
if I have to read these 5 values, say, see, now it doesn't make sense to take all the 5 values like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. It doesn't make sense to take all these 5 values like that. Instead, what we'll do is, okay, we can put it in a for loop, right? So I'll say for I in range 5, and now I will say, okay, value equal to int of input. So I'm taking input value as integer. Enter the number. Okay, so this is very good way of reading 5 variables. I don't have to write 5 variables 5 times. Or
Yeah.
I don't have to say A equal to int of input, B equal to int of input, C equal to int of input. I don't have to say that,
Okay. Yeah.
right? I don't have to say that. I simply can say one input and put that in a loop. Say one input and put it in the loop, right?
But the range of 5 is the amount of variables given.
Correct. So range of 5, what range of 5 will do?
It will go on to 1, 2, 3, 4.
0, 1, it's going to repeat this 5 times,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Exactly.
So you have one input and you repeat one input 5 times, what do you get? Input will get repeated 5 times,
Yeah.
right? But problem,
Okay. Okay. Okay.
okay, but
Yeah.
problem here is, whenever you're repeating, right, 5 times or 3 times or even 2 times, what happens second time when you run, okay, second time when it gets repeated, old value is replaced with new value. So when you use for loop, same variable, see, we are saying val equal to int, then again next time again we are saying val equal to int. So val will get replaced with the int.
Okay.
Val keeps getting repeated, right? Val
Yeah.
keeps getting repeated. So the value of val is getting overwritten. Now, if I need to do sum or whatever, right, then I need to capture it or do it whatever I want before it changes. I need to take it and change it before it changes, right? Now, if I have to perform total or for this, I will say total plus equal to val. Total equal to total plus val, because total, okay, see, before I read the next value, I need to capture it. So how do I capture it? I have only one value. So I'll say total equal to total plus val, which will work for most of the cases except the first case only. Because for the first case, you don't know the value of total, right? And initially the value of total should be 0. So I have to initialize the variable total to 0 here. Okay. Or,
Okay.
just to differentiate between this total and this total, I'll put 2 here. Total 2, total 2. Okay. Total 2 is a variable name. So total equal to total 2 equal to total 2 plus val. This is what it is, right? Yesterday we discussed, right? This is like total 2 equal to total 2 plus val. Total 2 equal to total 2 plus val, right? Total 2 equal to total 2 plus val. So
Yeah.
when total 2 is here, okay, before, and you assign it to 0, it knows what to add for the first time. But if I don't declare this, then this will say total 2 fine, left side is fine, but right side, from where will you get the value? See, right side will only have the, should have the existing value. Right side should have the existing value, correct? So from
Yeah.
where will you get the existing value? Not possible to get the existing value, isn't it? So you have to initialize the variable. You have
Yeah.
to, this is called initializing the variable. So when you are performing anything in the loop, you have to be careful. Now, one, because the variables will get overwritten. Second is the variables, okay, that you are using, okay, should be initialized before you use. I cannot say total 2 plus something, but without initializing it,
Yeah.
right? Before
Yeah.
initializing it. So I have to initialize this total 2 before. So now when I say here, print total sum of all the values from the loop equal to total 2. Okay. Now when I run it, do you see? Okay. Now you see enter the number is printed here itself, because see when I say end equal to, so we are at end of the first line. So next time when you print this, it is getting printed here itself. So best practice is when you are done here, right? You can say print blank. Print blank means it will print one single line, right? We are not printing anything, but print has new line. So it will print a new line. Okay. Now let's add some value here. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9 is 35.
Okay.
Okay. So this is how you can use for loop to, handle multiple values. So we are handling multiple values, 5 values here.
That makes sense.
Okay. So I'll move this to our, okay, here, and we'll continue our learning. Okay. So now, okay, let's move on. So let's say I want to print a star, a single star. So if I want to print a single star, I will say print star, right? It will
Yeah.
print star. Now I want to print 5 stars. Now if I want to print 5 stars, I have to
Use,
put it in a loop.
yeah. For I in range.
5, and then the print should come within the for loop.
Yeah.
So when you run it, you get 5 stars. All right. Now
Okay.
I want all these 5 stars to be printed in same line. I want all these 5 stars to be printed in same line. So I'll say comma and equal to, okay,
Comma.
space, or I don't want to give comma. I'll simply give
Okay.
space. So all these 5 stars are printed in same line.
Okay.
Now, okay, so this is about printing. Okay, so you say here this, right? Now I told you, right, since we have said end equal to, what happens, the cursor will be here. Okay, so the next time whatever we do, it starts from here. So, so just to be on safer side, we'll put a print here so that, the cursor comes down here, so that this is independent line, then nothing will come next to it. Okay, now what I want is, I want to print 5 stars, again 5 stars, again 5, 5, 5. I want 5 times 5 star. How do I
Okay.
do it? So we know that this is going to give us 5 stars.
Mm-hmm.
So this entire thing, if I repeat 5 more times, I'll get 5 more stars.
Yeah.
So I'll put another for loop. So I have used I variable here. So I will not use I will use some other variable. For j in range 5. Okay. So this will go inside this. So see, this is printing 5 star, correct? So this
Mm-hmm.
entire thing, if I put, okay, let's say you call this as A. right? If I call this entire thing as A, for example, then if I put A here, this will do the trick. This entire thing is printing 5-star and I call it as A. If I put A, okay, it makes the thing, makes the sense, right?
Yeah.
So now I'll replace this A with the end, the loop here, whatever the value of A is. So when I
Mhm.
run it, you get 5 stars in same line. Why? Because we said end equal to space. So it printed 5, then printed 5, it printed 5, printed 5, so on.
Okay.
So first of all, let's understand what's happening here.
Mm-hmm.
When j is 1 or j is 0, sorry, it starts with 0, right? So when
Yeah.
j is 0, okay, when it comes here, j is 0, comes here. Now, when you come here, you have another loop. So with j equal to 0, this loop, I becomes 0 and prints, then I becomes 1 because one iteration of outer loop is 5 iteration of inner loop,
Yeah.
right? One iteration of,
Inner loop.
right? One iteration of outer loop.
Right.
Right, one iteration of outer loop is equal to 5 iteration of inner loop, because
Okay.
once you come in, you are made to run 5 times. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
then again you go up, then again you come in, again you are made to run 5 times. Again you go up, again you come down, again you are made to run 5 times.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so one iteration will make you run 5 times. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what we need to understand. Okay, the actual printing is done by this inner loop only, because print is inside inner loop. So actual print command, print work is done by your inner loop. Okay. Okay, so we're saying that outer loop will force inner loop to run, complete its job. Okay, so an inner loop is printing this star for us, right? So once we are done with one row, then we need to do the you need to move to the next line, correct? Now,
Yeah.
this is going to print one line of star. After you are done with the inner loop, before you again start the outer loop, we need to move to the next line. That's why this P has to be outside inner loop, but inside outer loop. So now when you run it, you get 5 stars like this.
Okay.
And now let's say I want to have a different pattern. So I want first row only 1 star. Second row, I want 2 stars. Third row, I want 3. Fourth row, 4. Fifth row, 5. I want this pattern.
Okay.
Okay, how do we do it?
I don't know. Do something in the end section.
Right, no, end is not required. See, we are running this. See, this is printing 5 times. And this is to print the star, right? And this is for the rows, right? This is making sure that we move to the next row. So number of rows did not change. What changed is the stars that you print in each row.
Yeah.
Okay. What changed is the stars that you print in each row. So first row, 1 star. Second row, 2 star. So I need, instead of 5, 5 is fixed, right? Instead of 5, I need something that keeps repeating, okay, or keeps increasing. Okay, it should be first 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. You see, j is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I say j, okay, I'll get 0, then 1, then 2. If I say j plus 1, that's when I'm going to get 0, then 0 plus 1, 1, 1 plus 1, 2, so on. Okay, and now when you run it, you get this pattern.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay.